thank you very much as we welcome you inside the Bryce Jordan Center. Different environment than Wednesday, but a pretty good crowd on hand. See if the Nittany Lions can back up the win over. Paul Selk jumps it up. We're underway, and it's in the hands of Gabe Cupps. And again, Indiana still playing without Xavier Johnson. They were hoping to have him back soon. The elbow injury this time around. Cupps making a 5th straight start. And for Indiana, Sean, you were there on Wednesday. They were down 20 at the break against Nebraska, stormed back.
Yeah, they have to get off to a much better start in this golf game, because if you don't, with the defensive intensity with which the Nittany Lions play, they will bury you early. Opportunity. He's also aiming rather than shooting the basketball, and that's just a matter of confidence.
Well, Hobbs got deep, and a great recovery by Ware. Kick out to Baldwin, and he drills the triple.
I mean, Baldwin almost turned him over right there.
It's a great job, though, by Galloway to recognize where he was.
And to turn and locate before he put the ball on the floor.
He knew he was tied up and fouled. 12 triples in that ball game, 12 of 22 in the
first part of that ball game, and then they just got hit with that barrage of 3-point
games, losers of 3 in a row. They haven't, but on this end of the floor, they played well.
They've done a nice job, and this is really the most active of the offensive possessions we've seen by Penn State so far, reversing the ball.
Got into the lane earlier this week. And done. Channel for your favorite school. There's no plus like home.
Penn State extending that defense off the made free throw, trying to pick up the pace. I think what they want to do is force Indiana to play really, really fast.
And it worked for Galloway.
Rattled for Penn State.
Active hands, too, on the defensive end for Khalil Ware, who's coming off his 11th double-double of the season. The dump down to Ware. He brought it down and put it off the glass.
Nice little action. Action between the fellow bigs. Where the recipient there.
Lob check back in, and Baldwin found him. He played so well in the first half on Wednesday. Had 10 early points. The lob. CJ Gunn just checked in and laid it in off the baseline.
Giving it up and then getting it back, because to your point, he didn't catch it cleanly. It kind of came off the heel of his hand.
Penn State's 1 of 5 to start this game for beyond the arc. Purdue trying to go to work. Tough shot, offensive rebound, and Ware puts it in. He's been the best player on the floor in the early going. Tough pass. Whoa, what a pass, and it was tapped out.
And the thing is,
call that goaltending.
Yeah, well, because it kind of came up through the net as well, and the ball was on the cylinder. You can't touch it. In live action, that looked like a goaltend to me, because it's on the rim. You got to leave it alone when it's on the cylinder. It's still on the cylinder. Would change, because I've seen games this year where they had to go into the huddle and take 2 points off a team score, three minutes of clock time away. That can't happen. That needs to be addressed.
Galloway with the drive came off, and again it's Ware right there, and Galloway is still down on the floor.
And he has had a tough start, but he has been. Second time he's attacked off the dribble. Yeah, and he landed kind of, and then it was the follow through by Wahab. He landed awkwardly. And if you are Penn State defensively, you know, with all those reserves in there, well, you got to make sure you really rely on Ware.
They found Puff Johnson just off the bench, and he ties the game at 12. That's a big spot for Gabe Cupps. He takes it all the way to the basket, coast to coast for the.
Let's see some white jerseys this year defensively. Well done by the freshman.
John, he did not have a point on Wednesday. He struggled. He didn't play a lot of minutes in the second half either. Wahab caught it deep, but a good recovery by Indiana, but a foul.
Build on that momentum, and they had Penn State down. It worked, and they just stuck with it defensively. That has been their hallmark all year.
Not on the bench. He hurt his foot earlier. And they were looking at him on the bench. He's in the hallway where they're trying to test out his left foot. So he's not in the ball game. And Baco with 2 fouls. Renault's on the bench, and Indiana's up by 1. Both teams playing well. It's all presented by Jeep. Only on
Penn State going really small here. And O'Boyle, guy, he hasn't shown it necessarily all that much this year, but he can get it going from behind the arc. Well done of attacking the defense. And Penn State just a step slow.
Free throws today. Renew hits the. Hit them both.
And you manage, Jason. You've got to get either post feeds or dribble drive and attack the rim, especially the foul trouble in which the Hoosiers find themselves, because your next common foul, you're going to get something easy. There you go.
Kern took a shot, too, and he's hunched over.
Off the dribble. No need to settle.
Kern.
For Nick Kern, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
That worked. Better look on this. Working in the backcourt. He had time the other night and 4 points. He scored for the first time since December. Leo, nice feed to Walker, who finished.
Nice delivery as well. A little misdirectory by Renew. That pass needed to lead Baldwin to the rim. It was behind him a little bit, and so Renew was able to knock it down.
Working into the paint again. Renew took a boil and he was fouled. And so Malik Renew, the sophomore, is a starter, but coming off the bench.
On the attempted block shot by Penn State on the follow-through, he got caught up around the habit, but that's just the proper use of the step back.
Renew kept his feet upon him and put in a tough shot.
And a good job of spreading out. Ware understood that Renew was coming at him with the dribble. If he stays in the lane, his defender's going to stay with him. He fanned out a little bit, and that gave the proper real estate for Renew to operate.
He's got 7. Hicks with the deep 3 around the curl. They find Hicks again. On their confidence, too. I mean, before the month of February, Zach Hicks was shooting well below 30% from beyond the arc. That has changed drastically this month.
And he would not have even contemplated that shot. And right now, Penn State, defensively, they're just all out of sorts. You're not seeing the rotation. You're not seeing the communication. They're a step slow right now, and Indiana's been able to take advantage. You knew they were going to have to dominate points in the paint. So far, that has been the case for Indiana.
Remember, this is a slow start for both these teams. They worked it down to Wahab.
Freshman has had 2 tough assignments the last 2 games out. This backcourt of Penn State, and he had to try to guard Komanaga the other night against Nebraska, rather.
Defecting the shot there from DeMarco Dunn. Nobody got back, and Baldwin commits the foul, which will send Ware to the over this game. The Cubs, who got a bunch of high fives when he went over to that sideline.
Well, and you know, those two.
Leo with some active hands. Baco's been on the bench for a while, since the 15-minute mark when he picked up his second foul. Tough shot by Baldwin, and he hits.
That's just the guy saying, you know what, I've had enough of.
1-point game, Indiana and Penn State approaching 5 minutes to go in the first half. Nittany Lions trying to keep it going from Wednesday. Indiana trying to bounce back. Ware got it back and quickly put it up at the rim, and he's in double figures.
Penn State, it's sometimes not in their MO, but they may have to start sending doubles to him. Get the ball out of his hands.
Kern took it at the drive, and that'll help, because they just drew the second foul on the bench in college basketball.
And his ability to impact the game defensively.
Doubles for Khalil Ware. Only 10 players in the country in major conference back 3.
He dribbled himself into a more difficult shot.
I mean, again, the conversation's been there all year, and at some point it starts to wear on the players. DeMarco Dunn drills it, and Penn State back in front as well with 2 fouls. How do the Hoosiers handle this stretch?
Again, I'm going to make sure number 5 catches the ball. He's got a size in this shirt. They have to feed him.
They do, and he puts it up and in, and draws the foul.
Because they haven't been as crisp in terms of on the offensive end of really.
He was from the floor on Wednesday. But he's done most of his damage at the line so far in the first half. He's the second Hoosier in double figures. He's got 10.
And that's where you need to go if you're Penn State. That better go in.
And it does. Puck Johnson.
The kickback. But if you're Puck Johnson, you better hope that thing goes in.
The ball found Renew again. He lost it, but Anthony Walker was right there. Takes it at Wahab at a high level of difficulty.
Man, that's 4 big points off the bench by Walker. He got a dunk earlier. And that's what you have to do. That's where Khalil, because he did exactly what you need to do. He showed his hands. He cut from the weak side to the strong side. Had an open shot.
And again, he did not play on Wednesday, the first game that he has not played all season long. Baldwin on the drive. He is fouled. So that free throw does not count.
Off the first one.
Right.
NBA 3 to make 2.
But quad 1 win Minnesota has moved up into the top 75 of the net ranking, so the road win there is as well. 3 quad 1 wins at the moment on the Iowa resume.
And they can have a chance to double those opportunities.
All right, final 32 seconds here in the first half. Nittany Lions have made 4 straight shots. Baldwin takes it to the cup, and he was fouled. And he goes flying into the stand.
Especially with Ware over there, with that foul trouble, no shot blocking.
It's them both. Ace Baldwin is on an 8-0 run.
Something going toward the rim. That has been your bread and butter here.
Couple of screens for Galloway. Dunn stayed right with him. He got into the paint, and he was fouled. They call that on Kern. That is... He's way short on the first. Don't forget to stick.
Penn State, be cognizant of a long shot.
That one was perfect. So that snaps an 8-0 run. Baldwin up the floor. And Renew almost stole it. Now they're in trigger. Dunn catches, releases. And Kern, Dunn both wanted a foul. No avail from Courtney Green, but they will go back to the locker room up by 7 at the half. Renew is forcing the issue, and Wahab flies in. He has 8 rebounds. Dunn was waiting for it and drills it in rhythm.
Dunn doing a nice job.
That's a difficult pass that Kern found. The extra pass for Wahab.
Again, that's where Ware impacted that shot. Wahab bobbled the ball because he was looking for Ware, and that hesitation cost him. You know, if you're Wahab, you might be a little bit more assertive, just demanding the ball and testing a guy who hasn't played in live action here in a little bit.
Baldwin trying to drive. Cups was riding him to the back, but certainly without Clary the last month and a half. Hoops presented by Blue Diamond Almonds. Tuesday.
Now with a little size advantage, I'm going to try to make sure again with Kern. He's a really good defender, but I want to make sure number 5 Renew touches the ball.
Galloway had his strip from behind. Dunn trying to beat the Hoosiers down the floor, and he does.
Earlier in the ball game.
Off the inbounds. Off back-to-back 20-point games. See if Indiana can get him going here in the second half.
And maybe get something going toward the rim because he's far and away their best foul shooter.
And Renew was hit from behind. DeMarco Dunn just committed.
Foul shooter, 83%.
Renew is now 7. It's a boat.
You need to do what has been to your advantage if you're Indiana, and that's points in the paint. They've nearly doubled up the Nittany Lions in that particular area, but they have to take better care of the basketball.
And they got to find Zach Hicks, who strokes a triple. Once he had 19 against the Hoosiers, and he's been on a strong push since.
Yeah, 47% over the last 6.
He's got 8. Mbako was fouled by Hicks. They'll count it.
Mbako, if you're Indiana, 83% of the time.
Ups back to Renew with 7 on the shot clock to the bucket, and he lays it over the front of the rim.
Able to get to that right shoulder and left hand.
Baldwin left it for Wahab. Give my 2-year-old credit, though. She did ask to help. Huh? I asked, why'd you write on the wall to begin with? Play resumes. 9-point Penn State lead. Renew got switched and lays it in.
And in possession. He has to.
Galloway into the corner. Leo on the drive. Great patience with a Boyle flying by.
Media timeout. Malik Renew, who is tired, they're like, look, you only have to go another 15, 16 seconds here. We need you out there.
Finds Galloway. Curls into the lane. What a lay-in. And it's a 3-point game.
Really good response by Indiana. This was a double-digit lead for the Nittany Lions not that long ago, and attacking off the dribble, be it with the bigs or point guard play, has paid dividends. And Penn State was
better than average for college basketball. The average college basketball team is around 71.5%. And on the year, Indiana's at 65%, but today better than that. They go right back to the same guy, and he floats it over the rim to make it a 3-point game.
Get a ball screen. We've seen so many times and get Baldwin going with his left hand strong to the rim. Good help defense.
Baldwin does get to the rim, and he's fouled. Malik Renew bumped, and he's got 20. Sean trying to finish the last 2 weeks of the regular season to avoid that first day of the tournament. At the moment, Indiana would play the first day. Penn State would avoid it. They'd be in that 8-9 game, but we got a lot to get to. Galloway floats it. No. Renew there for the offensive rebound. He's got 20 as well. And he rolls that one in too. He's got his 7th 20-point game of the season. And again, it's been a takeover here. The free throw line, he only took 3 shots in the first half. Hicks around a curl, and hits. Galloway with the hesitation, nice find. Again, some space, and Renew is fouled again. And Sean, they're in the bonus, yes. So Indiana today shooting as well as they have.
Get back to Renew.
They have really kept this thing afloat and better, and he missed them both. But if you're Mike Woods,
Penn State, because you're setting yourself up for a potential charge or active hands coming from the blind side.
Well, and the feeling in this game has changed too, right? Renew is at the line with a chance to cut it to a 1-point game. He missed, and now all of a sudden, it's back to a 9-point Penn State lead. Good cut, and Baco found it, and Kern commits the foul.
Good strong cut by Mbacco. Presence is also on the bench. The 2 misses, in particular by Renew, they were fatigued.
For 15 minutes in the first half with foul trouble. Nice job by Leal recovering on the defensive end.
That's a wonderful job by Leal of understanding the scouting report and taking that away.
And getting it up to Renew, who now has 20.
Here to go.
He's thought about it. He's made 3 here this afternoon. Nick Kern coming off a career-high 22 on Wednesday. Strong take and finish, and he'll be at the line with it in the second half. And he completes the 3-point. Chasing Trey Galloway all over the place.
Another just sandwiching Renew. Well done. Well done defensively by the Nittany Lions.
Baco feeds it down to Renew. The patience, though, by Mike Woods and Squam. Hanging in the corner. He's ready to shoot at the bottom of your screen. They couldn't work it to him. Galloway off the dribble, high off the glass, and Trey Galloway's got 10.
That was a difficult shot as momentum was taking him completely toward the baseline. From our angle, it looked like he was going to have a very difficult time to get the proper angle off the window. He was able to do that.
Here's Baldwin all the way to the bucket. It's back to an 8-point game. And this time it's a foul on Hicks, which will send Indiana to the free throw line. That is his 3rd. Check that out. Well, they announced it too. That was 10, yeah.
That is letting it rip and trusting your fundamentals.
And that one wasn't close. Next media timeout, the score may be +2 Penn State.
Correct. And that's not on the officials. That's on the rule. That's just by definition.
Foul called away from the ball. Twelfth double-double. Pretty much all of that in the first half.
Yeah, it would be really impressive to achieve that with the foul trouble he's had to play with.
Takes it under control. He's fouled, and now he'll have a chance for a 3-point play.
And
we're back to a 5-point game. We're here in the second half. Approaching 4 minutes to go. Baldwin trying to turn the corner. And a foul called on Indiana. A 1-and-1 for Wahab. And this time he does get the front end. It's his 4th double-double of the season. And he hits them both. Team all year to not hit a 3 in a game. Did not hit one in a loss to Illinois. Galloway bounces down low. They find Renew, who's got 25. Give him 27.
And a good
for the Hoosiers with 3:10 to go.
And still a lot of time. I'm going to make sure number 5 gets it.
Reverse it to Mbacco. Feeds the post.
Nice post. It made that a difficult shot. Man.
Today have 50 points in the paint. Penn State's got a little stagnant here on the offensive end of late. Kern on the drive, and Baco reached over, and he's whistled for the foul. And the Hoosiers as a team are shooting 54%. Kern.
He hits him. Cognizant of Baldwin in this situation if you're Indiana. He may inbound it and then come around to stagger here and get the ball with his strong hand.
Instead, the inbound to Hicks, and a chance for 4.
Three indeed for Hicks.
And he's got 4. Remember, he hit all 3 free throws in the clutch situation in the final 4 seconds to beat Illinois on Wednesday. And we'll see if the Hoosiers can bounce back from that. Now down by 11. Mbako hoists. And Indiana has hit a 3 for the first time.
Smart by Hicks to kick it out. You don't need more points right now if you're Penn State. You're working the clock.
Bumped by Ware, and he gives it away. In transition, it's Galloway. He pulls up for 3. C.J. Gunn was right there for the offensive board. They don't need 3s either.
Oh. 1 minute. 1 minute to go.
Galloway flying in for the offensive rebound, and it's a foul. And he is 2 of 5 at the line today, and now 2 of 6. And he has consistently said, we've got good shooters. Their shots, their forms are good. It's between the ears. It's a mental aspect. Right now, though, 7-point game and a timeout called. Ace Baldwin gets the timeout before Cup stole the basketball. The inbounds, they cannot move. Nick Kern has to stay planted. He forces it to Baldwin, and he throws it out of bounds.
And Penn State.
And I don't know who else that would be off of.
Unless they're saying,
unless they say it did not go out of bounds, maybe.
Yeah. No,
that was a quick review. So it is Indiana basket to go. Galloway trying to force it, and Mbako back to Galloway. And Mbako just hit a 3. Tries again. And Hicks has the rebound, and they commit the foul.
Even though that shot didn't go, that was
worried. He is a good free throw shooter percentage-wise. He hits them both. 9-point game. 47 seconds. Indiana down to 1 timeout.
A little token pressure here, burning some valuable seconds for Indiana.
Left it for Ware. Launches top of the key. It's into the hands of Wahab. And the Hoosiers are going to have to foul. And Ace Baldwin calls a timeout first.
But he's so disruptive in taking away what somebody wants to do and making them go to their counter rather than their primary option offensively.
And it doesn't look like Indiana's going to foul. And they're going to play this out. Now, there is a 6-second differential. We'll see if Penn State chooses to shoot or not. Dunn is going to 3, and he was fouled. Well, Indiana, as of today, has them as one of the first 4 out.
Say a tournament field right now, but you want to see how you respond, especially.
Coleman Hawkins gets him started with that 3-pointer there, so we'll see. We'll get you there when we are done. DeMarco Dunn hit all those free throws. So it was a 12-point lead, was their largest. C.J. Gunn does hit a 3, so that's going to make the deficit single digits. But Penn State led the entire second half, and they follow up the win against Illinois with their 4th straight overall against Indiana. 83-74, Penn State beats the Hoosiers. Now for Sean Morris, I'm Jason Horwitz. Let's send you to Illinois.